So, as you should know, these Zersetzung tactics or swastika style Nazi policing powers or predictive policing powers have just gotten completely absurd inside of my life, all throughout my life, as a matter of fact. The reason I'm bringing up the Zersetzung and the torture campaigns that these people have been creating in my life is because I want to know, does anybody out here even care? Does anybody out here have power of assertion to basically help me, help others, to where like I could literally be that person to help other people, either either or, like either get away from being targeted or help the targeter get away from targeting so that they can not be targeted as well, because they will if they try to run from their little clique. See what I'm saying? And if you don't get that part, you really don't understand corruption and how this is happening. But I'm just going to read this post that I ran into. It's by Jesse Carson Hamilton on Facebook, if you're interested. It's dealing with the Zersetzung and torture. So 18 U.S. Code, I don't know what that symbol is, 241. It was enacted to prevent individuals from conspiracies that aim to deprive them of their rights and freedoms guaranteed by the United States Constitution or federal law, and here are the key reasons behind the enactment. One is to protect civil rights. The law was designed to safeguard citizens from groups or individuals who seek to intimidate, oppress, obstruct, or cause harm against other based race, religion, national origin, or other protected characteristics. Well, gee, that's happening all over my life. And it's coming from definitely more than two people. When they're talking about legitimately these fucks that are working inside of their fucking skin bag suits of fucking, oh, I'm gonna dress up as a cop, but I'm not gonna really be one. Fuck yourselves, stupid fucking clowns. Second is Reconstruction era roots. It was originally part of the Ku Klux Klan Act of 1871, aimed at curbing the violence and terrorism inflicted by groups like the KKK on the newly freed slaves and their supporters during the Reconstruction era. Which is like, in my opinion, these people were just fucked up from the jump anyway. And it was like these demo fascists are of today. Like, anyone had the right to seriously lynch people that should be free. No, they never fucking did. Don't give a fuck what your fucking beliefs are on that fucking fact and that front. You're acting in a fucking way that's disingenuous and you fucking know it. Third, the federal intervention. The statute allows the federal government to step in when the state or local authorities fail to protect individual rights, ensuring that constitutional protections are upheld nationwide. Well, this is exactly why they're creating the scenes of like sabotaging my work life, sabotaging my love life, utilizing the proxies created for my love life to continue a very concerted effort to continue a poisoning of me, in order that it was to keep me blind all the way to the fact of almost murdering me. Then the attempts of murder are being ignored on all fronts, medically and professionally, by the police officers that are out here supposed to uphold the law and the Constitution, the original Constitution, in which they swore an oath to protect all enemies, foreign and domestic. But obviously, they can't protect us from themselves when they're working within these organizations of the Freemasonry cuckolding design that's literally protecting rape, pedophilia, literally protecting these crimes against humanity. Poisoners, all of it. Fourth is deterrence. By imposing severe penalties, the law aims to deter individuals and groups from engaging in conspiracies that undermine the rights and freedoms of others. You're talking about a civil conspiracy when you're talking about being gang stalked. You're talking about organized crime. So it doesn't matter what these people want to say. This law remains relevant today, addressing issues like hate crimes, police misconduct, and organized harassment. All of the above have been coded inside of what they've been taking place inside of my life. I'm going to share this post right now just because it's a good post. It's an organized stalking. If two or more persons conspire to injure, oppress, threaten, intimidate any person in any state in the free exercise of enjoyment of any right or privilege secured to him by the Constitution or laws of the United States, they shall be fined under this title or imprisoned not more than 10 years or both if the death results from the acts they've committed in violation of this section, or an attempt to kill. They shall be fined under this title or imprisoned for any harm of year or any term of years, any term of years, or the life, or for both, or may be sentenced to death. June 25th, 1948. That the United States Code 241 was enacted. So, people have been literally not looking into these things with intent. Because the people that are performing these crimes are obviously going to gaslight you, lie, manipulate, cheat you out of your life, create the obstruction and sabotage financially, and perform these energy transfers, which is energy harvesting off of your time and energy, your willfulness to try and get away, and then for them to poison you into that state of reality, much like a willful ignorance almost, or not willful, an unlawful ignorance that's created through poisoning up a person. So if you don't already know that the legal info exists, you should know this. It's called civil conspiracy, just like I said. Every single person that is involved inside of your harassment is guilty. Guilty of treason. Guilty of tyranny. And according to the United States Constitution, this enacts our Second Amendment. You are now at war. This is a front that they've created to enact war on American soil against their own citizenry, and in my case, against their own family, familial, and familial backgrounds, and from familiar spirits of the Leviathan, monitoring spirits, the Python, the Delilahs, the Jezebels, and these envious spirits in order to hack, obstruct, and prevent justice from ever coming to a head. When they're utilizing the states and the state's police in order to do so, and these people don't want you to be able to get angry about the things that they are fucking doing and performing. You are supposed to perform to the oath in office and the oaths in which you were to upheld. Not only having a privilege or a pledge of allegiance that you all took young as first and second graders that should have been continuing. I pledge allegiance to the flag, the United States, for which it stands, one nation, under God, which they took out shortly thereafter because they wanted the moral ineptness, the moral degeneracy that they wanted to press and continue from there. They know every single step along the way that they've been making It's the same thing that they've been doing inside of my life to prevent me from finances, prevent me from establishing my workmanship and using my workmanship coming out of a long-standing poisoning and a long-standing of my fighting tooth and nail out of a homelessness that was definitely created by these sick monsters. So then they can perform the deed transfer, the identity theft, and have more information and more rights through this Freemasonry occultist design or whatever the fuck, in order to steal my identity away from me, as if my death wouldn't have been ruled a fucking murder. A fucking murder. And that's exactly what they want to prevent. It's murder already. It's been murder, and it's been attempts on my fucking life. Conspiracy against our rights make it a federal crime where two or more people conspire to injure, threaten, or intimidate someone in the free exercise of rights secured by the United States Constitution or laws that they aren't upholding. Because they're trying to exercise their free will in accordance with a very criminal conspiracy and a criminally ordained crime family. The violations that they've been taking up involves kidnapping, aggravated sexual abuse, which is in my situation not only growing up, but when they are performing as actors and creating proxy relationships so that they can continue poisoning me isn't only degradative to me, my mind, my mental capacity to see through these crimes, but it's also sexual prevalence in order to take their willful ignorance inside of their acts in order to attempt to murder me. This is not a conspiracy theory. This is fact. And this is how these people want to play about these actions. Prohibiting me from my rights, where I should have protected rights secured by the United States Constitution and federal law, such as being able to vote, have religious freedom, and fair treatment in public places. They're not treating me fairly in public places when they've been hacking me, not even allowing me to the metaphysical reality of their technological advancements that they've been creating to strip me of my identity in the first place. So, moving on inside of the reactions and inside of what these people have been saying. A little message to any stalkers out there. You dumbass motherfucking crooks. You will be found out. And you will be dismantled and held accountable, responsible for your actions. Your website will be found out and how you get paid. How you have been trafficking people because you stalkers are greedy. I'm going to add in here, you are greedy cucks. You are greedy motherfucking pieces of gutter trash. And you fucking know it. With what you're doing to the sanctity of human life, liberty, justice, and our pursuit of happiness. Trying to scrub people out of complete life, liberty, and the justice. Where in my case, they kept me poisoned from a very young age onward, erasing my life from the beginning of my life to where you see me now. And if they get away with murder, have fun with the rest of whatever the world has left to hold itself up before God completes his judgment. Because you people are greedy people, and it will come back on you. Because people do not agree to being followed, harassed, and people are wising up and don't like your bullshit government officials, and you will be notified. We will shake the foundations of the earth if we have to. You stalkers, you're incredibly fucking numb in your fucking skulls, you fucking pieces of gutter trash. Are you some kind of special idiot or something? Money and your greed and your envy and all of this other bullshit means more to you than being human, right? Under the Patriot Act, are considered domestic terrorists. You, police, are domestic terrorists to be working up in these crime families. Yeah, you heard me right, you gutter trash piece of fucking work. Take your badge and shove it clean up your ass. The time is coming for judgment, and so easily on your behalf to put people in these judgments as far as you want to throw people under the bus and target them, not even allowing them to a little piece of their normalcy in life. You are all narcissistic assholes, and you fucking know it. On top of that, you're sociopathic because you enjoy the hate, the hurt that you bring upon human life. And you don't think that God is not going to deal with you? You don't want to be afraid of God's wrath? Don't be afraid of God's wrath. But you have no respect for human life. You're all fucking puppets. You fucking know it with all of your symbolism and all your fucking bullshit out here. You want to be a cuckolding Freemason, cuckolding that rape. Not protecting the sanctity of human life, being a fucking cop, taking an oath of office. This invokes our Second Amendment that you also want to steal. And when one single amendment is taken away and stripped against that original Constitution, so you can try and supersede it with your living Constitution, you want to place it over the original Constitution. It doesn't matter what right you want to strip away from the American people. It don't matter how many fucking people that you kill. You're a fucking clown in a fucking clown suit and you fucking know it. You drive around in your little clown cars with your lights on top, flashing your little red and blue. Fuck you. Fuck you in your clown shoes. You're nothing but dickheads working for a system of pedophiles, a system of greed. And you will all be dealt with. One way or a motherfucking another. With what you have done to the sanctity of human life, and you fucking know it. So, another person says they hold shared values and they don't compromise or fold. It's the police, dude. Funding is limitless. Yeah, of course it's limitless when you've fucking stolen away everyone's fucking time, energy, and worth, spent all the money while you have literally a debt clock that's continuing to go up trillions of dollars. Trillions. And then you want to put it on the backs of the American people. You're all a bunch of heartless fucking clowns. And they know it. Someone answered back and said, yeah, what values? They have no good values. They have no ethics. They're all just a bunch of puppets. Yeah, correct. Another person says, what is a confidential informant that tells us everything? The poor have a price and that you're a target? That's important enough, but they'll bait, lure, and sell you the fuck out. Yeah, it's exactly what they'll do with anyone that's trying to get out of their fucking little syndicates too. Which puts people that are really close to me, I guess, at risk for being found out with how they've been working well within the syndicates. And if they're not within the syndicates, they're just evil fucks, which makes them fucking dumb. Makes them completely dumb. Like a special, real special kind of idiot. Hell, people who are born with a retardation, and I'm not saying anything in a negative fashion here against them. What I'm saying is positive. They have more brains inside of their inside of their reality to see what the fuck is going on than these people that think that they're so regular have. You guys are heartless as pieces of gutter trash as gutter trash can fucking be. And then this fucking clown wants to have what two subscribers, no fucking content whatsoever. And the only thing and the only reason that they're creating these channels upon channels upon channels to troll my page is to suggest that I don't have the right to be out here speaking out, and they say that somehow my YouTube channel needs to be they need to like stop my channel from having growth, basically. Like, basically being throttled. Like, you dumb fucks, I'm already being throttled. You dumb fucking cuckolding pieces of gutter trash. I'm already being throttled. Like I hadn't been being throttled without that fucking technology when I was 3 years old. I was throttled in my brain with fucking poison so my dad could get away with rape, you dumb fucking cuck. Pieces of gutter trash out here, I swear to God. The Patriot Act supersedes any constitutional and God given rights granted. Targeted individuals are on the TSDB. I don't know what that stands for. So this becomes relevant. TSDB. Speaking of American targeted individuals only, of course, but facts are facts. I can agree, but I should look up what TSDB stands for if I can figure that out. It's probably something easy I just can't think of right now. Trademark status and documental retrieval, or trade secrets database, toxic substance databank, time series database, transportation safety database. Well, I think it has to deal with the trademark status or the trade secrets database. Yeah, that makes sense then, because we are on a they're trading our content, our status of being, through a database. And that's legitimately the network of the gang stalking organization with these criminal conduct of criminal police, criminal judges, and the criminal conduct that they're taking over targeted individuals' lives with absolute impunity, I guess, in doing so because they're murderous little clown shows and they should be in fucking clown suits. They shouldn't be driving around in fucking government cars if they're working in defiance of their own oaths of office. You're not upholding any part of the law. You're being a fucking piece of gutter trash is what you're being. Another person says organized stalking attempted to murder me. I'm requesting 18 United States Code 241 to hold persons accountable. I'm in WV, Washington, WV. Why can't I think of where that is? Anyway, it's a pre-threat to be harmed, and money would be stolen to do it. A person who is an abuser or a party of that abuser, to target the person to harass and then stalk them. They con others to also create the fraud, and they mail to their self. They smear your name with fraud. This is to get others to mistreat you, or to treat you with contempt, or to even attempt to murder you with the stolen money that they've gained. If they murder you, they get 3 times more revenue and profits. Abusers are getting hidden information. I think it's more than that. In certain situations, certain targets, it matters about how big of a threat you are, because there's already been millions paid, as far as I'm concerned, in murdering me. Controlling my life and murdering me, if you consider all angles of it and all levels of it. My last girlfriend was given a car and 55 grand. I mean, there's a lot of money that's being passed around But if you ask me, it wasn't even a thought process that my worth alone, being left alone, could have made 55 mil or 55 bill. They don't care about that. They don't even want to think that you have any kind of availability of resources for your own self to create and make for influence in a positive direction based on all of the very negative things that have been constraining my abilities to even live my own normal life. Obviously, as people can probably understand and see clear to and through, that I've never been able to live my own life. Ever. Ever. Not even a day. Maybe having a few days here and there where I had hope, where I could literally have hope that I could get away from the syndicate of control of these corporate junkies that are literally fucking up every avenue of my life, creating the covert abuse and covertly stalking and misaligning my life. I mean, I legitimately had 2 pieces of paper come to me in the mail from the creation of the identity theft that these cucks used in order to create it. So, right then and there, they're legit trying to create avenues on multiple levels in order to make my character seem as though I'm not just an avatar based on the things that I'm saying out here. I'm not just an avatar of the gang stalking corporate fucking Freemason for all fucking pieces of shit. I'm out here to try and speak for peace on these things, but these people are human trafficking me. They're trafficking me in the courts. They're trafficking me within the system. They're trafficking me within my family even. They're trafficking and manipulating any kind of scene that they can in order to cover up their own clown shoes. But as far as I'm concerned, these motherfuckers are a special kind of fucking idiot. They kill me. Oh, good job. Kill targeted individuals. Oh, good for you. Good for you. You should pat yourself on the back for a job well done. You care nothing about God's wrath. Nothing. So they go on and say that for me it's been medical trafficking. Also, yeah, me too. Also hacking records. Me too. Stalking and ongoing, having me beat in chest records missing during breast cancer. I didn't have breast cancer. They sufficiated family rescued by family. I don't know what that means. Suffocated rescue. That's what it was to say. It was a typo. Yeah, they do. They suffocate your own family from being there for you to support you or to rescue you in any kind of fashion. I was told, time to die, but don't worry, that money will go to the abuser. That's what they told. That's like legitimately what they're telling me within videos that come up on my feed. You can tell they're made for you specifically in order to suggest that if you don't do this, that, or the other, basically like, comment this, and share this post, that instead of you getting that money, it'll be like $1 million or something. You'll get $1 million if you do this, but if you don't, it's going to go right to the abuser. It's going to go right to the person that's been performing these crimes against you, basically. In other words. So, you don't want to sign up to that. Fake broker? Yeah, I had a fake broker, fake brother. Fake doctor? Yeah, fake doctor is right. The psychiatrist that held me against my will, that never had any right to hold me up against my will, suggesting that they were just getting away with holy crap crimes when it comes to the cartel and how the cartel want to run. But that lady was legitimately, to my belief, the wife of Rajiv, who was the landowner and the property owner where I was living, allowing us to live in squalor every day, while as well suggesting that we have the ability to pay are bills. Go to work while you're dealing with things in your own home life that's not allowing you to sleep. You're in imminent danger, my friend, when you're in these situations. So, yeah, fake caregivers, I mean, that's happening all across the board to targeted individuals. Forgery, fraud, reports goes to someone's private P.O. box, connected to an abuser and their lawyer. After I filed against many people, places, and authorities, they retolerated where I was raped, cut, burnt. They messed up my nose, breaking it, and all done by illegal clinics. Oh, wow. Kind of what I was overhearing when I was being held up against my will. Yeah, after visitation's over and after shift change, maybe a half hour, 45 minutes later, every night, that lady was being raped. And if anyone wanted to go and save that person, they would be thrown into solitary confinement and you'd never see him again. Oh, for how fun. Then she goes on and says that they busted out my mouth, knocked my teeth out by illegal clinics. I didn't authorize being. I'm guessing she meant I didn't authorize being there. They are doing paid crimes to me by abusers who are and have been stalking me to steal money. It's artificial intelligence games hidden to his rich lawyer, abusing for him, which is fun for him to stalk and abuse me. Crimes to me and attempted murder me in WV, Washington, or I can't think of where WV is. It might be somewhere else, not in the United States. I'm guessing this is in the United States, but I don't know. They tried to murder me, twisting my legs like a pretzel, forcing the lowering of my heart rate, trying to force my death, blocking blood flow. Twice this has happened. Nobody has helped me. Nobody has helped my real husband and I in WV. The criminals are running the torture games here for me, and it was all threats to perform the harm against me. These criminals are doing this stuff by fixing forgery, fraudulent directories over people's heads that they mail their self. Conspiracy, I don't know what she means by they mail themselves. Oh, I'm guessing it's just their directories. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. So they're like emailing between parties. So the conspiracy is an understatement. These people are doing witchcraft, forced, Satan ritual abuse to Christians. They targeted my religion and my remarriage twice, once deceased. Nobody has the right to violate any human rights to these levels. They are spinning me in circles, doing purposeful harm to me, trying to force suicide ideologies and destroy my face and try to cripple me, rape me, etc. When I didn't break and stood up to them, that's when they tried to silence me even further and attempt to murder me. They want to put out our light of God and put the light of God out, hurting Christians who wear pretty dresses. They are witches after Snow Whites and Christians who wear dresses like Cinderella. They are evil monsters of Satan trying to steal our souls from the life of God. Any chance for marriage, I pray God takes them out, for vengeance is only God's, no more. God says I am enough, and I'm agreeing with her. You are enough. You are enough, and the vengeance is God's. The fact of the matter at hand, though, is that there's 66 Bibles ripped out of the King James Version Bible, and this needs to be recognized, and it needs to be recognized with the high priests that were in charge of the day and age of creating your King James Version Bible. King James himself, before coming to Christ, was a Freemason. So did he work in accordance with the Freemasonry occultists' design? I don't know that question, but I know for verbatim that the books that were ripped out were books that literally taught you about how you were to use your authority that was given to us through Christ, to have Christ likeness inside of our lives, to be able to protect ourselves from the things that we are experiencing today, which have been completely ripped out for a reason. For a reason. Calculated. So I'm not saying that because people go to church and be churchy, that they're not Christians. But what I am saying is that there's definitely things that Christians are not doing simply because you're taught to turn the other cheek. You're taught things that they were willing to accept to be put in that Bible and left in the Bible. The original context and the Textus Receptus of the King James Version Bible. But when you're talking about 66 books being ripped out between Malachi and Matthew, that's in the footnotes of the King James Version Bible, you have to think to yourself, why? And if you study just a little bit of that, you will realize that you've been duped, you've been stupefied, you've been idiot made to accept the decrees of the state, suggesting that you are just supposed to follow the orders. Be an order following little fucking dumb shit. No, that is not what the Bible was referring to. The Bible was referring to getting to the truth. It's not just the love of our Father. God is love. Yes. That's one thing that these Satanists can't understand, is that God is love. But it's really an important factor that people understand that their authority is something that they might not understand. And not understanding those things can lead one thing to the next, that these satanic ritual abusers or syndicates, occultists or Freemasons or crime families, whatever it is, the evil, to get away with the evil that they're performing over your lives. As if you don't have the right to stand up for yourself, utilize your Second Amendment, and fight for your freedoms, which they're enacting through this demofascist little cult design. They're enacting civil war. That's what they want. Because then they can try and supersede with all of the powers of their Freemasonry cuckolding police. Their predictive police abilities. So that's why that they're literally having all of the access of our call records, all of our emails, all of our text messages. Everything that is supposed to be private is now not private and controlled by sectors of government that are literally trading our information between the cuckolding warlords and these bitch-ass pieces of gutter trash that know they're fucking bitch-ass pieces of gutter trash that they know God will deal with in the end. But the way that life is going right now, if we're not able to stand up against these people and realize that you need to get loud right now, well, what do you think? What do you think is going to happen? Murder isn't possible coming from a piece of shit that can dress up as a police officer but not do any kind of police work? Are you dumb shit? Literally? Are you a dumb shit? And no, I'm not calling people with actual minds to think about these things dumb shits, but I'm literally calling these people out for who the fuck they are. They are a special kind of idiot. They are literally dumb fucks. They know they're dumb fucks and they just don't really care. Because it's about money. It's about greed. It's about their envy. It's about their sociopathy. Because they love to create that pain in other people. That's legitimately why my father raped his own daughter that was born with congenital heart defect, that the heart defect in and of itself was created, which where I'm finding resources of sciences that are telling me it's from an arsenic poisoning of my mother that was utilized as a date rape drug by these sick motherfuckers who are running with the Roman Vatican fucking pieces of shit thinking that they're Christians, calling themselves Christians, but in their minds, they gotta know that they're just completely fucking dumb. Dumb. Special kind of fucking idiot. And then they want to suggest that me online, suggesting how I would swing a cup where my cup wouldn't get hurt, but other things would. I'm sure it's my cup that would get hurt. But they want to suggest literally that that is the felony. There's no victim in me saying it. Angry in a very rightful place of being as angry as I am, if you can imagine being poisoned for 40 plus years, but you might have to have an imagination, and that imagination might be completely stripped from people these days. I don't know. I don't like to turn on my TV or watch things that are going to suck away my time and energy and thought process to be programmed by a little fucking design that's being a mental imprisonment of these fucking cucks, dude. I don't care about the satanic elite. Why would I want to pay attention to what Hollywood can create when they could literally be taking my life in this fashion to then steal my whole story and be like, oh, we're gonna recreate his whole story and put it up on a fucking silver screen, and then people will watch it. They're not watching me actually saying what's happening in my life. So all of a sudden, it's the same thing as like the censorship and why my information's being throttled then. And I'm being hacked and having my life hijacked and they're performing identity theft. Is because they want to utilize that story for their own mental gains. Oh, isn't that fucking cute? They're not allowing me to work. They're not allowing me to medical help. They're not allowing me to fucking my own rights to be protected in this fucking country. They're not allowing me to a fucking normal love life, a normal social life, work life, home life. Just having a fucking roof over my head, for crying out loud, because they literally are working to force asset foreclosures on targeted individuals, to force them into homelessness or force them into the blight of create like this last one was saying about creating a suicidality. They want you dead, suicided, in jail, or institutionalized. Or they'll bludgeon you to death and leave you face down in the middle of a fucking puddle. They don't fucking give a fuck about human life. Anyway, I'm out. I need to go get another coffee and I'll create another fucking video about this stupid clown show that we're experiencing out there. But people should have the physical capacity of their minds to realize that we are at war. It might look different. It might not be guns being drawn until maybe guns need to be drawn or whatever by these clown fucking pieces of gutter trash to murder people and whatever. The earth is over if we can't fight for our rights and our safety and security for our families and our friends and our community. If we don't have any of that, and there's no living and actual living going on out here where we can get out with our fellow communities and play kickball and have fun together, you ain't gonna get to experience life soon. From here on out, it'll just be warfare. Welcome to Venezuela type of, or war crimes. Welcome to war crimes being embedded inside of the American system, right inside of America. A place that was supposed to be free. Freedom is a fucking joke. I've never once had freedom in America.